Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Nike Hypervenom Phantom 2 in the latest metal flash pack colorway. Now inside the box they do include a couple of extras. The first extra is this tag right here that essentially lets you know that the graphic printed on the sole plate as well as the studs will wear off over time. That's something we'll talk about a little bit later in the video. They also include a string bag. The string bag is black in color with black strings and features a white Nike swoosh on one side and your Nike football branding on the other. Other than that, all you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly and we'll take a closer look at what is a very bright, really interesting colorway of the Hypervenom Phantom 2. So here they are, guys. Really unique looking shoe. In today's video, we are going to take a detailed look at the colorway itself, compare it to some other shades of blue and green, because this is kind of one of those in-between colors. We're going to talk performance, tech specs, take a look at the weight, as well as talk about how these things fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more about the metal flash pack Hypervenom Phantom 2, please stick around and watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page, you'll find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $275 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's take a closer look at the colorway. Now, because this green glow color is kind of unusual, I figured I'd compare it to some other colorways just so you can get a better idea as to how it might look in person. So what I have here is the new Adidas Ace 16.1 Prime Knit, which is in solar green, unmistakably a lime green color. And then I also have the women's colorway of the Hypervenom Phantom 2, which features hyper turquoise, which, as you guys can see side by side with the green glow, is quite similar. So next to this lime green color you have on the Ace 16.1 Prime Knit, you definitely can tell that this shoe does have a greenish tinge to it. It's more green than it is a light blue. I would definitely say that, but it certainly isn't that kind of bright green color that you see here on the Adidas model. With that said, while this isn't a particularly bright green, because it's so unique, it's going to stand out equally as much. So if you're looking to stand out, this colorway is definitely going to do that for you. And then as you guys can see side by side with the hyper turquoise, which is, I guess, more of a bluish color as opposed to these, which is more of a greenish color. They're, from a distance, I guess, pretty similar, but up close, side by side, this is more green, this is definitely more blue. So I just thought I would do that side by side comparison just so you can see what the difference actually is. Actually, these are two very, very similar colors, especially when you put them side by side. So shoe, like I said, green glow pretty much across the entire upper. Same thing goes for the exposed flyknit on the collar and central area of the actual shoe. You're going to find black as the main accent in the Hypervenom detailing here going around the sides of the shoe. You do, of course, have black laces. The mid layer on the flyknit is also black, so when that stretches out, it reveals black there, and when the tongue part stretches out, it reveals some black there as well, which is kind of a cool little detail. You can see that you do have a silver Nike swoosh, although it isn't metallic or shiny like you're going to find on the other colorways from Nike. This is definitely more of like a kind of semi-metallic color, I would say. It doesn't look bad by any means. I just think it's because of the finish and the texturing on the upper. They couldn't actually make it metallic. So it's silver with a black outline. You have that on the front and back of the shoe, as you guys can see. Green glow sole plate with the black printing. The black printing is what you guys what is referenced to in the actual tag that I showed you at the start of the video. Technically this will wear off over time, but it doesn't wear away quite as quickly as you might expect. I do have a video specifically on that, so if you want to check it out, I'll leave an annotation on screen, but nonetheless, the pattern printed on the bottom of the sole does look really, really cool, as it does match the little detailing here on the actual upper, which does not wear off, by the way. So that's pretty much it as far as the colorway is concerned. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. As far as performance is concerned, the Phantom 2 is all about responsiveness. So if that's what you're looking for, this definitely should be on your list. Now, if you guys are looking for as many details as possible, you can go ahead and check out my playtest video, which I'll leave an annotation to on screen, just if you're interested in seeing these things in action. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't seen it already. But really what you need to know about this shoe is, yes, it's mid-cut, but there isn't really any benefit to the mid-cut design on this particular shoe. If you want a Phantom 2 and you don't necessarily have to have the mid-cut design, the Hypervenom Finish, which is technically the model below this, it's $75 cheaper. It's the exact same upper, just with a traditional cut in the heel. So more like the original Hypervenom Phantom 1 in terms of the fit of the shoe. Certainly not the same feel though. But again, if you want that mid-cut design, you can get it from the Hypervenom Phantom 2. Just keep in mind, it doesn't actually have any performance benefits over the Finish model. So with the upper, what you're getting is a Nike Skin Synthetic, which I would definitely describe as a firmer, thin synthetic material. The material is thin, as you guys can see by the side profile, but it's quite rigid. It doesn't really have any softness to it. It's a little bit thicker than what you're gonna find on the Nike Mercurial Vapor 10, and really doesn't compare to the Flyknit models from Nike, whether it's the Superfly or the Obra, just because it isn't a Flyknit upper. So it provides a thin touch on the ball, really no extra padding, but it's got this kind of dense quality to it that makes it, like I said, very thin, very kind of pingy when making contact with the ball, but it's not paper thin like what you're gonna find from the Vapor. It just has a little bit of extra thickness to it, if that makes any sense. There's some texturing to the surface of the upper as well. You can see you have all these embossed lines. They're there more so for, I guess, flexibility and looks as opposed to actual touch on the ball. There's no benefit to having them there, in my opinion. But in terms of just overall responsiveness, you get plenty of it. The base or mid layer of this material is a very kind of dense textile. And then you have your Nike Skin layer on top, and within those two layers, you actually have flywire cables that run from the base of the sole into the lacing system on both sides. So when you pull the laces tight, not only is the upper very structured, you also have lots of structure coming from the flywire. So your foot's locked in place, and when you make those quick cuts and change of direction, there's no movement from the upper whatsoever. It's, like I said, a very kind of instantaneous one-to-one type of reaction that you get from this shoe. So if that's the type of feel that you're looking for, this does it better than pretty much anything else out there at the moment. The only thing that I guess some people complain about, including myself in regards to this particular shoe, is just the general kind of comfort. It's not an uncomfortable shoe, but the material definitely does feel relatively firm and rigid against your foot. It's something that you do get used to and you can eventually achieve a comfortable feel from. But if you like a softer feel from your shoes, you're not going to get that here from the Hypervenom Phantom 2. The upper is also finished off with ACC all conditions control, as you're going to find from all the top end models from Nike. Not a make or break feature, but it is something that they do include. Now, Phantom 2, so it is of course mid-cut. You have an internal plastic heel counter, your mid-cut collar here. That's just an elasticated Flyknit. Same thing goes here across the top of the foot where the laces are slightly off-centered, as you guys can see. The collar, again, doesn't add any support, doesn't really add any structure. It's just there to wrap your ankle, give the shoe a slightly more flowing sensation in terms of how it fits, or I guess feels when you're wearing it, as opposed to just something being strapped onto your foot. Again, is it a necessary thing to have on this particular design? No, but it's something that's very popular from Nike right now, so they decided to include it as an option in the form of the Phantom 2. Inside, it does have a smooth synthetic leather liner like you're going to find from the Obra and Superfly 4, the other mid-cut models from Nike. A little bit firmer at first, but something that you do get used to relatively quickly. As far as the insole is concerned, I'll give you guys a quick look at that. It features a mesh liner on top, no perforations as you guys can see. It's actually made from this really nice ortholite foam, so it does have kind of a nice spongy quality to it. One of the better insoles from Nike at the moment, in my opinion. And then moving on to the sole plate and stud pattern, the sole plate is a glass nylon material that, again, looks very similar to what we got from the original Hypervenom Phantom 1, but a lot more flexible this time around, which is definitely a good thing. And then it maintains the same stud pattern as well. So conical studs, very similar layout to what you're going to find from the Mercurial, so it's kind of like a conical version of the Mercurial stud pattern. Not quite as aggressive in terms of just general bite when pushing off, but it still digs in quite well. You still get plenty of bite, and because they're rounded in shape, you have that freedom to twist and pivot as well. So all in all, very, very good stud pattern. Definitely does perform the part on firm natural grass. and it's one of those stud patterns that I really haven't heard too many complaints about. Most people seem to like it, so most likely you'll enjoy it as well. So that's pretty much it as far as performance is concerned. Very, very capable shoe, but very kind of quirky in terms of the feel that it has on offer. It's not for everybody, but if what you heard sounds good to you, that is one of those shoes that you probably will like quite a bit. In terms of weight, the Hypervenom Phantom 2 is relatively lightweight, although the finish is a little bit lighter due to its more traditional design. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time using the scale. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. We're going to throw them on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7.7 ounces, the equivalent of 219 grams. So in comparison to the Superfly 4 and the Obra, the other mid-cut models from Nike, these are about half an ounce heavier. Is that a lot of extra weight? Not necessarily, but it is something that you possibly will notice on feet depending on how sensitive you are to the weight of your soccer shoes. But for the most part, if you're looking for that lightweight, very responsive feel, you're definitely going to get that from the Phantom 2. They don't feel heavy by any means, so if that's something that you were worried about, don't be worried. Like I said, it's a very, very lightweight shoe. All right, so here is a look at the Phantom 2s on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock black laces that come with the shoes. And on my right foot, I have a pair of metallic silver reflective SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. Find a direct link to that website down below in the description of this video. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, the Phantom 2, like I described earlier in the video, definitely has a unique feel overall. It's a firmer, thin synthetic that wraps your foot very, very snug. It doesn't really have any softness to it, which isn't necessarily uncomfortable, but it can take some getting used to, and it certainly isn't for everybody. Like all the mid-cut models from Nike as well, it does have a firmer feel in the heel area, which takes some getting used to. You really have to break these things in slowly. Don't wear them straight into a game. Don't wear them straight into a free kick session. And like I said, as long as you take your time with the break-in process, you should be able to have a comfortable playing experience in this shoe relatively quickly. But if you take things too fast, you probably will get blisters. It's just that simple. As far as the overall fit is concerned though, it's a tighter fitting shoe, especially when you pull the laces tight. The upper is firm. The structure you get from the Flywire is very locked down as well. So again, it's a tight fitting shoe. If you don't like tight fitting shoes, these definitely are not for you. And as far as stretching is concerned as well, the shoe isn't narrow. They're going to be suitable for most people as far as width is concerned, but the material is not going to give. The way they fit from right out of the box is the way they're going to fit for their entire lifespan. So if you have really wide feet, these probably aren't the best option for you. As far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the Nike Metal Flash Pack Hypervenom Phantom 2. If you guys are interested in more info, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page, you'll find the high quality images of this exact pair that I took myself, as well as buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these guys up below their normal $275 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below, go ahead and check it out. If you have any questions at all regarding the Phantom 2, leave them down below in the comments, and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.